Welcome to another episode of Chase Talks. My name's Chase, and today I am bringing you our Week 4 battle of the PCL. Your band of the Hawluchas this week is facing off against the Oakland Chompers. Now, just in case you can't remember our team, I'll throw it up here for a second. And running down my opponents, he's got the Gracium Z, Mega Absol, Tapu Bulu, Nihilego, Donphan, Decidueye, Bronzong, Zebstrika, Haxorus, Arcanine, Conkeldurr, and Slowbro. Now, going into this match, some of the things I was really worried about was his Tapu Bulu with the Gracium Z. That thing can fire off a huge hit, and he could also run it on the Decidueye and kind of try and catch me off guard by putting it on that thing instead. Mega Absol is always a strong threat. It's got special options, physical options, mixed options. It's fast, it hits really hard, it's got high special attack, high physical attack, and it's very fast, like I said. Nihilego is a really strong Pokemon, I was worried about that. He's got a really good spinner in Donphan, a good defogger in Decidueye, Haxorus, and Conkeldurr, and Arcanine each put down strong offensive pressure, as well as the Bronzong and Slowbro are good walls. So going into this match, there was a lot of stuff that I was kind of worried about facing, but I feel like I kind of built the best team I could against this one. And the first Pokemon I decided to bring was our Shakespeare, our Rotom-Wash, with the choice specs this time: Hydro Pump, Discharge, Volt Switch, and Will-O-Wisp to kind of burn. He's got a lot of physical threats, so if I can get a burn on one of those physical threats, that's not Conkeldurr, because it could run Guts. I don't want to give that thing the Gust boost. It'll really put me in a good position. Now, I am running more speed than HP this week, just kind of outspeed what I can outspeed his lower base speed Pokemon, and some of his walls if they're at 0. I just want to be able to outspeed those, especially like the Slowbro, if it's a speed creeping Slowbro or anything like that. I want to be able to outspeed it. And then the other 252 is in special attack with the Timid Nature. I had to run Timid Nature to hit the speed that I wanted to hit, which is the 275. The next Pokemon I'm bringing this week is the Nightwing, our Crobat, with the Choice Band Infiltrator to hit through those substitutes. He's got the Brave Bird, Cross Poison, U-Turn for momentum, and Defog. Now, I do get to only run 144 in speed, and I can outspeed everything in his team that isn't Scarfed at that speed tier. So I am very tanky this week. I have a lot of points in HP and then the 252 in attack. So this thing will really be able to sponge some hits and dish out a lot of damage. It's going to really be my main way to break through Bulu, and it can also do a lot of damage to Slowbro or any of his tanks, Bronzong. So I'm really excited for Crowbros. For Crobat's potential this week. The next Pokemon I'm bringing is Hitmontop, our Like a Record, because it spins me right round, with the leftovers, Technician to power up the Bullet Punch. Bullet Punch will really do a number to Tapu Bulu, and I bought a bulk up set this week with the 252 HP, 252 physical attack, and the 4 in special defense. The bulk up is just kind of try and set up on something, and then the Sucker Punch and the Earthquake to kind of secure kills and kind of hit everything on his team. If I can set up on something that really can't do as much damage to me, like the Tapu Bulu without good fairy coverage, then I'll really be able to put in some extra damage. Now, if he does have the Gracium Z, that is something I will have to worry about. But if I can set up on his Bronzong or anything like that, I'll be in a really good place with this Hitmontop, as long as I don't catch a burn from that Slowbro. I've been catching a lot of burns in the last few weeks, and it has not been fun. The next Pokemon I'm bringing is our Cynthia, Garchomp, with a Salac Berry. I'm running a Salac Berry set with the Substitute Swords Dance, Dragon Claw, and Earthquake. 216 in speed to kind of outspeed what I can. 252 in attack, Jolly Natured, 40 points in HP. So the idea behind this set is what I can do is I can Swords Dance behind a substitute, and then I can either substitute down to my Salac Berry, which will increase my speed +1, or I can just take damage down to it, and then once I'm in that range, I'll get the +1 plus the Swords Dance boosts, and then I'll be in a good place to sweep his team. Granted that he does not have priority. If I have priority, my plan will be flawed. But this Garchomp can really put in work. Even a Tapu Bulu in its terrain doesn't want to take really Earthquakes from this thing after it's set up, because it'll still do a ton of damage to it. The next Pokemon I'm bringing is our Assassin of Red, our Mega Gardevoir, with the, it says synchronizability on here, but it does have the pixelate. That's just from when it was a regular Gardevoir and I switched it to Mega, so you guys could see the stats. 232 in speed, 252 in attack, with the timid nature. I'm running the Hyper Voice, Psyshock, Shadow Ball, and Hidden Power Poison. Now, what I think he's going to think on this one is that this is a free switch in that he can do to his Tapu Bulu, and there's not much I'll be able to do to this besides fire off a Psyshock. What I really want to do is catch him off guard with that Hidden Power Poison. Hidden Power Poison should be able to take out his Tapu Bulu. Maybe even if it's Assault Vested, I feel like I should have a good chance of getting that kill. I don't remember the exact calc, but I feel like I should be in a good place for that kill, even if it's Assault Vest max HP. Unless it was like a full Spadef Bulu, which would just be off the wall, and I really don't think that he'd bring a full Spadef Assault Vested max HP Bulu. The last Pokemon that we're bringing this week is my favorite Pokemon, our Victini, our Victor over here, with the Choice Scarf again. V-Crate, Bolt Strike, Zen Headbutt, and U-Turn. I'm still worried about becoming too predictable with this Choice Scarf since I brought it so much. But again, it just puts in so much damage because I'm really worried about Nihilego. Zen Headbutt will kill the Nihilego, but if I outspeed it, if it outspeeds me, it can kill me with Power Gem. Especially if it's at a +1 beast boost, so I really don't want to have that thing just kind of set up to sweep my team if it gets a kill on one of my lesser threats, like my if it kills my Nightwing when it gets low, or my Nightwing dies from a well, I wouldn't be able to die from Brave Bird, I wouldn't get the +1, but if it kills my Nightwing when my Nightwing's lower, or if it gets a kill off my Rotom-Wash that isn't as tanky as it could be, things like that, I don't want it to put it in a good position where it could just sweep my team. Victini is kind of my main check to that, and it's also a check to a Scarfed Bulu. It will outspeed Scarfed Bulu, so it'll be a good check to that too. Really the only thing I'm worried about with this is a Sucker Punch on Mega Absol, because that will just decimate me, or a knockoff. I'll get decimated by a knockoff if I don't hit it in one shot. But unless I'm like locked into Zen Headbutt, there should be no reason that if he doesn't have Sucker Punch, I shouldn't be able to take it out with this Victini. So I'm going to cut right now, and we're going to jump into the battle. I am commenting this battle after I played it, and looking at what he decided to bring, I do just decide to lead Nightwing. Now this turn I thought it was pretty safe just to go for a U-turn. I really didn't want to catch a Scald or catch like a Burn or Thunder Wave, as you do see that he does actually go for the Thunder Wave on my Assassin Red. I will synchronize that onto a Slowbro, but that is really unfortunate. That's really going to hurt my speed here, because now I'm not going to outspeed the Tapu Bulu. I will still outspeed this, and I did go for the Shadow Ball, expecting him to switch into his Bronzong. Now, I felt really safe going for the first Shadow Ball just because I thought anything that switches into this really isn't going to want to take it. And since I killed it the first time, it's so slow, I knew I was going to outspeed and hit it the second time. Now, I knew I wouldn't outspeed Tapu Bulu here, so I decided to switch into Nightwing, and he predicts it and hits me with the Stone Edge. I was worried about a Wood Hammer. I didn't want to take it because I knew it was going to kill my Gardevoir, but he predicts me. I go for Cross Poison because I thought it was my safest play, and his Slowbro tanks it like a champ. So at that point I know it is a physically defensive Slowbro, and there's nothing I can do banded stuck into the Cross Poison. So I just switched into my Assassin of Red. I know Assassin Red can do a good chunk of this with Hyper Voice, so I'm just going to go for that this turn and see what damage it does. It does so much damage to this thing, but it slacks off and heals it back. That with the Leftovers recovery and with the Grassy Seed, or Grassy Train, not the Grassy Seed, is going to bring him almost to max HP. And now the next turn I get full Parrot, which is so unfortunate. I think a Scald, so bad. I clicked Hyper Voice that turn. This turn I'm going to go for another attack. I decided to go for Psyshock instead, just in case he switches. He switches and then I'll go, and I get full Parrot 2 turns in a row, so I'm not going to pick up that kill. Unfortunately, that would have been a definite kill on his Nihilego. So I'm going to switch into Shakespeare here to take the Sludge Wave. I really don't have anything that wants to take the Sludge Wave because my Crobat got so low, and I thought my Crobat still had a lot of usefulness, so I didn't want to sack it at that point, and I end up having to sack my offensive Rotom-Wash, which is really unfortunate. That Rotom-Wash didn't get to do anything. Now, I expected his Nihilego to switch right there. I didn't think it wanted to take a Earthquake, so I did just go for the Substitute, and I will get a free Swords Dance up against this Slowbro, but it is going to break my sub. So I'm just going to go for another sub. I'm going to try and get down to my Salic Berry. I know that either a Sucker Punch or on his Mega Absol or a Mach Punch on his Conkeldurr could be out there, but just in case, I am going to try and set up on this thing, get the Salic Berry to at least take this thing out, and maybe I can get one other thing out. I really kind of wanted to use this Salic Berry set. I think it's just because I've been a little bit disappointed with Garchomp, because like it's got such a weird speed tier, and since it doesn't get Dragon Dance, like it outspeeds a lot, but then there's a lot more good threats that it doesn't outspeed. So I end up not killing it with the Dragon Dance, but it gets full parried, which is super good. So I am gonna get to take it out with an Earthquake on the next turn. I just went for the Earthquake in case he decided to switch out into like Bronzong or Tapu Bulu to preserve this thing. He just decides to lose it, and he will switch into Conkeldurr, if I can speak English, and take me out with the Mach Punch. And he's burned, so at this point I know it's a sweeping Conkeldurr. It's set up with its guts. I'm just gonna switch into my Assassin of Red. I get parried for the 3rd time on Assassin of Red, and I'm going to die. So unfortunate that I got parried that many times, so I'm going to have to switch into my Crobat. I'm going to take that Mach Punch, fine. I wasn't worried about dying to that Mach Punch. I knew I could take it, but I'm going to end up killing myself to a Brave Bird. So I end up losing 3 Pokemon to this Conkeldurr because of that paralysis, which is so unfortunate because I would have 100% killed that thing with that Hyper Voice that I went for. So that was really bad. So he is going to switch into his Nihilego, thinking that he's going to outspeed me, but I'm Scarfed. Get him with the Zen Headbutt. Victini picks up his first kill of the game. Now at this point I know I had to switch out because there was nothing I could do. I was locked into Zen Headbutt. He knows I'm locked into Zen Headbutt because I'm Choice Scarf, and he's going to go for a knockoff. I'm going to take that knockoff really well, but I am going to lose my leftovers recovery, and I was going to go for a bulk up on that switch. I expected him to switch out, and I knew I needed the bulk up if I wanted to do any damage to this thing. So this turn I am going to go for the Bullet Punch. I didn't want to switch in Victini because I was kind of worried about what he was going to do, and he does decide to go for the Grassy Mazie Bloom Doom and knock out my Hitmontop. Now, my last Pokemon here is the Victini, like we already saw, so I'm going to switch the Victini in. I'm going to go for a V-Crate. My only hope of winning this game at this point is if he doesn't have Sucker Punch. He didn't use Sucker Punch before, if I was not Choice Scarfed and he had Misty V'd or something, but of course he was max speed. So he knew I was going to outspeed when he went for that knockoff, and he's going to K me out. So he didn't go for Sucker Punch before. He didn't need to go for Sucker Punch before because I couldn't hit him. And I am just going to lose right there. So I'm going to lose 1-0 to my opponent, Derpy. He played really well. So GG to my opponent. He played much better than I did that game. And I felt like in my team prep, like I was saying, I felt like I had really brought the best team I could have against this team. But then when I had actually played the game and finished the game, I really thought that like the biggest thing I could have improved on is that I should have brought a much bulkier Rotom-Wash. Even if I wanted to bring a Choice Specs Rotom-Wash, I should have brought a bulkier one so I wouldn't get two-shotted by Nihilego right there. Because losing my Rotom-Wash in that way that early was really terrible. I really didn't have a good switch in to Nihilego at that point, which was kind of unfortunate for me. And I don't know if that was kind of a hole in my team or just me not having the right Rotom-Wash or bringing the right Pokemon. I also don't think I should have went so hard into the Salakberry set. I could have kind of let it do its own thing, and I could have just tried to take it out on its own before, rather than just trying to get down to the Salakberry and kind of outspeed his team, because if he wouldn't have gotten full parrot, I would have just lost my Garchomp. So I don't think that was really the right play to do either. But either way, I definitely see ways that I could have played this game a lot better. Now, next week in our Week 5 game, I did make a bunch of free agent changes that I will go at the beginning. I ended up dropping 3 Pokemon, replacing them with 3 new Pokemon to kind of give me a little bit more offensive pressure. Like I was saying with Garchomp, how I felt that it has kind of a weird speed tier. And like for a sweeper, for me, it's kind of got such a weird speed tier. And never before in Garchomp have I, like when I've used it in the past, I've never really felt this way about it. And I think it's because I've been using Dragon Dance so much on like Salamence. So I'm so used to like setting up a Dragon Dance and being able to sweep with Moxie. And I really think that I prefer that to Garchomp, because like I prefer the Dragon Dance sweep ability compared to the Sword Dance. And I know that like Garchomp would be an Uber if it had Dragon Dance, which is probably why it doesn't have it. But so I switched out a few Pokemon to kind of see it. I did not drop Garchomp. Garchomp still is on our team, but I did drop a few other Pokemon to kind of help mend those speed problems and give me a little bit more options in team prep. I've been feeling kind of restricted, like I'm either too bulky or I'm like too offensive and not bulky enough. So this will hopefully give me kind of more middle ground. Well, thanks for watching. Remember, rate the video, comment the video, and subscribe so you never miss another episode of Chase Talks. Until next time, this is Chase, signing off.